open up that Crystal Pepsi and get comfortable.
This is Dope Nostalgia.
Hey everybody, we're back with episode 213 of Dope Nostalgia, and I'm your host Naomi. I just got back from Chicago where I went to go celebrate a dear friend's birthday. You may have heard of the YouTube channel Rat Tail. Well, it was girl Rat Tail's birthday, and boy, did we have a huge, awesome party. Adrian, once again, we love you and happy birthday. I'm glad that you had the best weekend ever. Now, today's episode is going to be a little different because there's a lot of controversy with this group, and I wanted this person to have the chance to say their side of the story. The group PM Dawn was huge in the 90s, and the original two members who were brothers, Prince B and Eternal, were the mainstay of the group. As years went on, all kinds of things happened, which we'll be getting into. And then Doc G, who we're talking with today, became a member of the group. In this episode, he gets to share his story of what happened and about the legend Prince B, who unfortunately is no longer with us as he succumbed to complications from kidney disease in 2016. So before we get into talking with Doc G from PM Dawn, we have a little bit of news for you. It's been a while since we had a news update. Here you go.
Hot off the presses. Adjust those rabbit ears. You got that antenna pulled up? It's time for some dope nostalgia news.
Now, one of our previous guests on Dope Nostalgia is releasing a brand new single. It's coming out tomorrow, which is, as of me recording this, it's going to be September 18th. Chesney Hawks is back. So you can check out on his Instagram. He has a great contest going on right now. The song is debuting tomorrow on BBC Radio 2. So the new song is called Get a Hold of Yourself. Go to the link in his bio on Instagram to pre-save it. And you can get the chance to win a video call with Chesney and a very special personalized package from him. So Chesney Hawks Official on Instagram. Check it out. Hit the link. Try to win the stuff, man. Chesney Hawks was such a great guy and a great guest. You can listen to my interview with him back in the old school catalog on wherever you get podcasts. And if you don't remember Chesney, he is the singer of the song The One and Only. Now, here's a little background information on PM Dawn.
Wikipedia moments.
Please bear in mind that Wikipedia is not to be taken as actual 100% fact. Any donkey could edit it at any time. If I'm reading you the artist's bio, that stuff is real truth.
PM Dawn is an American hip-hop and R&B act that formed in 1988 by the brothers Atrell Cortez and Jarrett Cortez. Their stage names being Atrell's Prince B, sometimes called Prince B the Nocturnal. Jarrett's stage name, Eternal, or DJ Minute Mix. They were formed in Jersey City, New Jersey, and they earned significant crossover success in the early 1990s with music that merged hip-hop, older soul, and more pop-oriented urban R&B. PM Dawn recorded their debut single, Ode to a Forgetful Mind, in 1988. Their first album, Of the Heart, of the Soul, and of the Cross, The Utopian Experience, was released in 1991 to critical acclaim and was an immediate commercial success driven by its single, Set Adrift on Memory Bliss. This song, as you well may know, was sampled, and the original artist is Spandau Ballet and the song True. This song has been sampled by many different artists, including the Backstreet Boys and Jordan Knight, to name a couple people that I know off the top of my head. But it's such a classic riff and classic tune. This song blew up PM Dawn. Their 1993 follow-up, The Bliss album, in parentheses, vibrations of love and anger and the ponderance of life and existence, parentheses, featuring the hit singles I'd Die Without You and Looking Through Patient Eyes, was also praised by critics. PM Dawn continued to receive strong reviews with her subsequent albums, Jesus Wept in 1995, and Dearest Christian, I'm So Very Sorry for Bringing You Here, Love Dad in 1998, despite poor sales, unfortunately. Now in 2005, Prince B's health issues due to complications from diabetes led to his cousin Doc G taking ownership of PM Dawn and the Eternal's departure from the group. In 2016, Prince B died from kidney disease. Doc G continues to perform as PM Dawn without the involvement of the Cortez brothers. Not everybody was happy about that decision, especially members of the family. In 2022, the documentary episode Unsung came out, highlighting the story of PM Dawn. And Doc G was on it, as well as Jarrett Cortez, and they don't agree on anything. So today, we got Doc on the show. Doc G agreed to come on Dope Nostalgia and talk with us about the legacy of Prince B and the history of PM Dawn. Welcome, Doc G, to Dope Nostalgia. I like the shirt.
Thank you. I just wanted to do, whenever I do something lately, a video or anything, I try to plug a local business. So this is Yankee Biscuit. This is actually Southern Bagel out here in Long Beach, Southern Bagel Company. A very dear friend of mine named David Gill. He's from New York like me, and he moved down here to Long Beach, Mississippi years ago, and he wanted to bring the New York bagel breakfast experience with him. So now we could live down south and enjoy a salmon lox bagel with cream cheese and capers.
I didn't have any idea that bagels weren't a thing down south.
No.
Yeah. They're
Not
pretty
unless you go to
popular
the
here.
airport or something.
Makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm in Western Canada. Out in
Wow.
Edmonton.
I don't think I've ever been to Canada. I was supposed to go once, and one of the acts got arrested at the border, so they canceled the show and everybody could go.
Yeah, I bet you that happens a lot, though, where they can't cross the border. I've seen concerts get canceled for that reason.
Everybody, a lot of stuff happens to me because of stuff other people do. It's like the soundtrack to my life.
Welcome. With me today is Doc G, PM Dawn. How's it going?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. I wanted to welcome you and talk about the great times you've had as part of the group, the legacy of PM Dawn, and to give you a platform to speak your truth. So you were saying you were based out of Mississippi nowadays.
Yes. I just really didn't like what was going on back home in New York. The politics, the nonsense, the violence, the inability for a law-abiding citizen with no criminal history to protect himself. You know, it's like you take a beautiful woman, you don't feel like driving, you want to go to dinner and a movie, and you hop on a train. What should be a romantic time could easily turn into a bunch of people just being jealous of you, sticking a gun in your face, humiliating you, snatching your girl's pearls and stuff. Who needs that? Down here in Long Beach, Mississippi, where I live, it's a beautiful place. It's like, it reminds me of what Long Island used to be.
Yeah.
And, you could leave your car door open. Not that I do, but, and it's like good family values, family first, And so for me, it's like, I'm a single dad raising two boys by myself, two amazing sons who live with autism. And, God is good. That's all I can say. And, so I fly back every 2 or 3 years to eat White Castles fresh off the grill and hug my dad. And then I get back on a plane and come home.
No, I can totally understand that decision. It sounds like a wonderful place to be.
It is.
Yeah. Now, when PM Dawn came onto the scene, your cousins, Atrell and Jarrett, which people know as Prince B and Eternal, DJ Minute Mix, right?
Yeah.
Now, they were the ones that started it all. Where were you at, and what were you doing in the 90s when all of this was happening?
Okay. So I was swabbing a deck on the USS Orion. And I told this story in other interviews. I'm swabbing a deck, waiting to pull into port, and I hear we were stationed out of Italy, and I hear and I'm like, oh God, that's our group. And they tried to get me to go AWOL. They almost got me to leave a ship in Sicily, but I didn't want to get court-martialed. And Prince B was very upset when I went to the Navy. He did not want me to go. A lot of my relatives didn't want me to go. And it turned out to be a bad choice. But, I'm glad I did it because I got to do some things independently that I would not have done.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, I remember it was 1992, and my mom had mailed me a Valentine's card. And basically, it has a daily newspaper clipping of when KRS-One attacked my cousins. And inside the card, it said, look what they did to Bucky and Jared. And I was dealing with some of my own things going on in the military at that time. Mm. So instead of waiting 4 years to get the GI Bill, I took an early out. And I showed up at Prince B's doorstep, and I never left his side.
I wasn't aware of what happened with KRS-One.
It was silly. See, back then, and people like to put their own spin on it, but there was a tremendous amount of hatred towards what people they called it alternative hip hop. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a tremendous amount of hypocrisy. Like, I find it so very humorous that VH1 used to do the hip hop honors when years ago they refused to play the video I Die Without You on their channel because it was a hip hop song. So fast forward 20, 30 years, that's not the case anymore, right? So yeah, they hated us. They hated Arrested Development. I believe they download-hated Diggable Planets too. It was like anything that wasn't talking about selling drugs or shooting somebody was considered alternative hip hop. Yeah.
Like the Roots. They'd probably be in that.
I wouldn't say the Roots were ever alternative hip hop because Black Thought was spitting bars like from the gate.
Yeah.
So you just couldn't deny his greatness. That's just my opinion.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
He's got to be on. If a person writes their raps or freestyles them, Black Thought has got to be on the top of your Mount Rushmore, in my opinion. So,
there's a quote of Eternal saying, Kanye West was also greatly inspired by PM Dawn. And I think a lot of people who are currently big in hip hop were. And so
I see a lot of PM Dawn's greatness and influence in current hip hop artists today. Anybody who sings over the track, anybody who uses what they call hashtag rap, like the style that Drake brought to the game, we started that. They're probably alone, solitaire. You take out the word like and just, you do it that way. So, but they've also shunned us. Like it was painful when Prince B died and they left him off the list that year at the BET Awards. That's why I just don't watch anymore.
Wow. I can't believe that even happened.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's very bittersweet, and I try to just, take the memories, the good memories, and but at the end of the day, I still love hip hop. I still write rhymes. I still create. I still perform. And I even got my kids getting involved now. My son is getting into DJing. He's 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got an 11-year-old who plays the harmonica, and he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do. But whatever they want, daddy's here for it. So
It's nice to have family that backs your musical aspirations, you know?
yeah, I wouldn't know nothing about it.
Was your whole family musical, or were some like, no, you guys
There was some musical.
don't get into this. There's no future.
No, there was some musical people in the family, but I mean, I once took a butt whooping for listening to Run DMC.
Ooh, damn.
Hilarious. Like me and my old man, we laugh at that stuff now, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, when you're growing up and you got yeah, your parents are like young Christians on the come up, people make mistakes. Like I said, but one thing I've learned is the power of forgiveness, and I learned how to let a lot of things go. Because, do you think it's silly when people say, oh, when you forgive somebody, it's for you and not for them? But it really is, because
Mm-hmm.
rage
for
and
you.
hatred will poison your soul. And it almost got me a couple of times. So,
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. If anybody feels better about giving that forgiveness and letting go, it's definitely you. Right?
yeah.
How did you feel about the changes that took place throughout the music industry throughout the decade of the 90s, like from the beginning to the end?
Um, I don't have problems with changes. Things change for better or worse, no matter how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was a kid, my father didn't understand why I wanted to stick a penny in my shoes and, try to moonwalk, or why I would take the strings out of my Adidas. He thought I was crazy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why it's a fashion statement if you pull your pants off your waist and under your butt cheeks and then walk into a club and go, don't disrespect me, son, I'm a man. And I'm like, well, why are your pants under your butt cheeks? That's not manly to me. So
I can't wrap my head around it either. It's just,
yeah, like something like and when I don't do hip hop, I do armed security. So I can't tell you how many times I've told somebody they couldn't get into somewhere, and he's like, "Yo, who you talking to, cuz? I'm grown." I'm like, if you're grown, then pull your pants up over your waist, and then I'll allow you in the establishment,
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty hilarious.
How did and when did you join with Prince B, and why?
Well, here's the thing. I was supposed to join from the jump, and when I did not, he was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back to town, when I got out the military, basically became the Alfred to his Batman. So anybody who came over to work with him, 9 times out of 10, I'm the one that had to get him a Blimpie burger and run it back to Electric Lady Studios, Papaya Frank, mixed drinks, you name it, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I tried to leave and do my own thing, he wouldn't let me go. It was pretty funny. He'd be like, well, what do you need? Well, I got to get an apartment. Pick a room in the penthouse. What else do you need? Well, I got to get a car. Okay, here's the keys to the Grand Cherokee. What else do you need? Well, I got to get a job. Here, I'll pay you $600 a week. Stay, please. And it was like, and I stuck around, and on numerous occasions, I helped him out. We, had a lot of very toxic relatives in his life, people that just, would just begging, wanting money and stuff, or using him. I remember we had a bodyguard who was having an affair with his girlfriend, and his little brother knew about it and wouldn't say anything because they were giving him drugs. A lot of crazy stuff. Yeah. But, the same people who did this showed up in an unsung, like, oh, we loved him so much. And I'm like, oh. So for me, it was like, I would always ask him when we sit in Red Lobster on Route 22, I go, are you happy? And he'd go, I want to be, but I'm not yet. And then stuff would come to light. We kick the bad people away. He'd be happy again,
Yeah.
But I think what he wanted more than anything else is he wanted to be acknowledged for how dope he was. And he really despised the ununity in hip hop as far as like people not respecting him and stuff.
We want to
And
show him that respect now, right? Like, I mean, that's part of why I wanted to do this episode.
well, I'm starting to get a lot of love on Instagram again and TikTok, because I really don't like social media. I feel like it takes the curtain off the Wizard of Oz. Let the Wizard of Oz be the Wizard of Oz. Why do you have to see him? I shouldn't have to film myself writing and making a record for you to want to hear it and buy it and see me perform it live. It's like, I don't want to be in that process. Like, I don't want to know that Batman is Bruce. I just want to see Batman. That's the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it's not just music. Like, it's the same thing with professional wrestling. Why do you have to go behind the curtain? I'm like, I don't want to see this guy when he's not, popping up out of a coffin or, something like, nobody wants to be entertained and just leave it the hell alone anymore.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. What are some of his gifts that you feel like he gave to you as a cousin and to the world?
Oh, well, to the world, I think he gave the gift of a black man doesn't have to scream and yell and holler all the time to get his point across. He expressed vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. He expressed vulnerability in expressing his thoughts about his faith in God, his fears about being a parent and a spouse. And as far as his personal gift to me, he used to tell me I was lazy because I don't make beats. I always get somebody else to do it because I just miss the camaraderie of waking up at 12 noon, taking a shower, brushing my teeth, meeting my cousin for Red Lobster for breakfast at 2 p.m., and then House of Pancakes for dinner at 12:30 at night. We were so backwards, man. We were so backwards. It was Red Lobster on Route 22 for breakfast and the House of Pancakes on Kennedy Boulevard in Jersey City for dinner. It was always like that. It was fun.
Hey, I know that night owl life. That's me. I
Yeah,
get it.
and I miss Al's Diner on Communipaw Avenue. I heard they knocked that down in Jersey. That was a good one.
Oh.
That was the Superman 2 diner where he got revenge on the guy with the pinball machine. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, it was.
Oh, history.
Yeah,
Do they serve breakfast food there?
they served everything at Al's Diner.
Nice. So,
But I miss those things. I miss the road trips. And it's funny that you contacted me because this is normally a rough time of the year for me because his birthday is May 15th and he passed away the Friday before Father's Day. So from that May to June, I have to deal with swarming termites and the pain of my cousin, who was my best friend, his absence. And when you lose somebody that you've known since you were 2 years old, you never heal from that. You just kind of exist in spite of it, in spite of the loss, but you never really heal from it. So every year around this time, I just curl up in a little cocoon and just, watch little videos and things, listen to stuff, and and then I show my son's video because he's both of my children's godfather,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just one of those things where like I have other friends who suffered losses, like my friend Money B, he lost his guy, Shock G, right? And then I remember Coolio died a few years ago, and that broke my heart because the last time I saw him, we brought him down to do a show in Biloxi. And I remember I put my arm around him, I kissed him on the side of his face, and I said, "I love you, brother. Stay healthy." And he said, "You know it." And then I didn't see him no more. It's just that's the sad part. It's like what Indiana Jones said. He goes, "I'm afraid you're at this time of life where life takes away more than it gives." I think Kareem said that about Bill Walton recently too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, loss is definitely one of the hardest things we cope with as humans. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you to be here and share those memories, even though
Thank
I
you.
know this is a hard time. So I thank you for that.
Well, I
And I
do
feel
have
for
some
you.
funny memories now. Like, the man was addicted to Audubon Pond. Like, if we had to be somewhere and we had to go nonstop to make it there, and then he sees Audubon Pond and they, "Oh, Greg, come on, you got to stop, you got to pull up." I'm like, "No, we can't." And it's like, it got so bad that whenever I book shows, I would put his fat butt on a plane where he had to land in the town and go to the hotel, and then I would drive my car because I didn't believe in doing rental cars because the rental car don't got the big subwoofer that I have. So I remember we did a show in Miami, and I remember being so pissed when I got down there. I'm on Collins Avenue. I'm getting a pedicure, and you could laugh, but look, I'm 6'2", and I have a size 14 shoe. If you have a size 14 foot, you have to get a pedicure or you cannot have good quality of life. Your nails will get Wolverine-ish. So
I hear you.
yeah,
Nothing
and
wrong with a
remember,
pedicure.
yeah, and I remember we're walking out and I'm seeing all of these guys and they've got their little systems and they're playing their little goofy tunes and everything. And I'm just getting mad, and B is like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I'm like, They think they're doing something, and they're not doing nothing. Like, you know what? If I had the Ultima, then he's dying laughing because like, "I can't believe you take this so personal." I said, "Listen," I said, "I'll see you tomorrow." He goes, "What the hell are you talking about?" 2 days tops. I got on the plane. I flew back home to New York. I got my car and I drove my ass straight down to Miami. And I came back with my car and I said, "Now what's up?" And I dropped the windows down. I started blasting, "You got to chill, EPMD." I'm like, "Y'all don't got nothing. You Miami boys don't got nothing,"
Wow. That's quite the drive.
Yeah,
You got the right stereo.
Listen, all I needed back then was that T-Pain Epiphany album. I put that on repeat. I could stay awake for hours.
Is it my turn to wish you were lying here? I tend to dream you when I'm not sleeping. Is it my turn to fictionize my world or even imagine your emotions? Tell myself anything. Is it my turn to hold you by your hands? Tell you I love you and you wanna hear me. Is it my turn to totally understand, to watch you walk out of my life and not do a damn thing? Whoa. If I became aware of the feeling that I
What has happened with Jared over the years? Where's he at?
Well, I don't know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
We have no relationship. That is my doing.
Mm-hmm.
The horrific chop job they did on that Unsung to like exonerate him. It's like basically an executive producer named Cassidy Arkin figured she wanted to put me, and I have emails to back this up, but she wanted to put me in a room with family members that don't like me and I don't care for.
Mm-hmm.
I would not do that. That's not a wise decision. So I said no. And I said, I'm not going to New York because New York, I don't have reciprocity for my pistol permit. And, see, I grew up on the 80s hip hop. And what did the God Rob Bass say? I'm not a sucker, so I don't need a bodyguard. So I don't have a bodyguard. I have an FNX 45 tactical, so I don't walk around with big chains. People don't jump me or nothing. And I do all right for myself. So, because I didn't want to play nice, they filmed me for 3 hours and then they chop and edit the footage and made me look like some type of evil monster. They said I stole the name and all this other stuff. And it was just all lies. So, and then they gave him an opportunity to tell some lies that he knows isn't true. The guy didn't care about the group. I remember what brought me to the group in the first place the second time, because, Prince B kept asking me. I wish he was alive to tell the story because he used to make it more entertaining because he would say, I feel like I'm Jesus Christ because you keep denying me like Peter, is what he always tell me. But I would tell him, no, I'm not coming between the two brothers. And then one day I was looking for an idea for some logos back in 2005 after we did the Hit Me Baby thing. I'm just trying to create some new PM Dawn merchandise. I think I was trying to do something like the Bliss is back. I'm always coming up with things. I came up with the whole Utopia Nights thing, like for our fans and stuff. Everybody thought I was crazy. And so while I'm Googling old PM Dawn merch on eBay, all of Jarrett's plaques come up. All of his plaques. And I remember before I called him, I talked to the woman I was dating at the time, and I said, listen, do you mind if I pull some of our money to buy this stuff back and give it to my cousin? And she said, as long as you put it back, after your next batch shows, no, we cool. So I called Jared up and he goes, yeah, they're plaques. What about them? And I go, well, look, why are they like that? He goes, look, I don't want to talk about it, man. And he goes, so what do you want? And I told him, I said, well, I'm going to buy them and give them back to you. He goes, why would you do that? I don't care about PM Dawn. I don't care about those plaques. He said, if you really cared about me, you would give me the money instead. And I remember when he said that, I'm an emotional Virgo, so I cried a little bit. I hung the phone up on him. I called Prince B back and I said, I'm in. And I told him what had happened. And he said, I told you, that dude is not for us anymore. And he never did anything. He never wrote. He never produced. He barely DJ'd. Most of the time when it was a live show, like a live, real money-making show, it was DJ Cash Money DJing. Like, ask anybody that was ever seen us blow the roof off the Palladium or something like that. It was always DJ Cash Money. Cash Money was a badass. I've seen that brother scratch a record with a goddamn Shelto Adidas. He's one of the most beautiful DJs I know as far as his mastery of his craft. DJ Cash Money, and then I got another homeboy, Ice-T's DJ Evil Lee. He's like one of the, in my opinion, he's like the best living DJ to me. I'm a little biased because I love the guy, but but yeah, so And then I joined up, and it changed the group because I don't just sit there and do nothing. I gotta get people moving their hands and everything. And, I come up with little phrases and things. And another thing I used to do is I would dance around Prince B because he had suffered a stroke and he didn't want people to know it, but he wasn't as nimble as he could be. So he would do things. And while he's doing things, I'm jumping around on stage and, back when I had my locks and everything, because if you're looking at me acting like a fool, you're not noticing whatever he might have going on health-wise.
Yeah.
And I told him this is how we're gonna do it. And and he silently groomed me to like take the lead. Like he kept telling me, and I wish I would have listened to him now, but he always said, Greg, you got the ear. He said, you got the ear, because the way I always come to him and go, hey, what if we do this and add this to it, Because our whole science for making music was we were both a bunch of fat kids that like peanut butter and jelly. The jelly is something smooth. The peanut butter is rough. You put it together, so you get the ha, 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 ha. We're just fat kids that made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I love the relationship that you've had there with him. That's something beautiful.
I had to get rid of my Ultima when he died. One of my best friends, Brandon Poor, he's like the best mechanic on the coast. I know I'm plugging all of my homies, but he made me get rid of that car because I was going to pieces. Like every time I get into the car, I know that my cousin is dead and he's not alive, but I can get in the car and then I could see a conversation that we had 10 years ago, 6 years ago, stuff like that. And then you flash away, flash back, and you're in the car by yourself again. And so I would pull up places and I'd be crying and they were like, what's going on? And they were like, we got to get you out of this car, man. We got to get you out of this car. There's too many memories in it. Like, I would have never got rid of that car because it was the car I drove from New York to California in. It was, doing tours during the Summer of Bliss, 06. And it was also the car that I drove both of my sons home from Long Island Jewish Hospital when they were babies. Like, even now, I have an idea for a new piece I'm going to have made up. I have the key to the Ultima, and I'm going to have that key made up, and put around my neck just to represent what that car meant.
That'd be a nice keepsake to have.
Yeah. But I still have the cross that he gave me years ago. He gave me that cross at a former friend of mine, Rab's wedding. And he told me, he said, that's white gold. If you lose it, I'll kick your ass. I never lost it. He gave it to a lot of other family members, and those goofy bastards did stuff. Pawn did something else. I kept mine because I didn't want him to kick my ass. He was stronger than a mountain buck, let me tell you.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, friends. I kind of miss getting those messages on my answering machine like we used to back in the day. What I'd really love is to hear from you, the listeners of Dope Nostalgia. This is your chance to be on the show, giving feedback, telling us what you love, what you hate, and who you'd like to see more of. Call us at our new toll-free number, 1-888-741-9192. Leave us some feedback. Your message could be played on the show. So give us a call, 1-888-741-9192. Toll free.
Hi, we're 4 p.m. and this is Dope Nostalgia.
Hey Dope Nostalgia listeners, my name is Shalina. I'm the host of Everything 90s podcast. This is a show dedicated to folks who grew up in the 1990s And in each episode, I take listeners on a nostalgic trip down 90s memory lane as I reminisce about the highs of that decade. Topics include TV shows, movies, toys, music, and every year I also do a special series called 90s versus 2000s. This is where people come on to battle it out and represent the two decades for a given category, and then the listeners vote on which decade they think won that category. So if this is a show that you are interested in checking out, it's available on Apple Podcast and Spotify, and you could also connect with me on Instagram at Everything 90s Podcast. Thank you so much for listening and looking forward to connecting with you.
What's for lunch?
It's Hungry Hungry Hippos!
Hungry Hungry Hippos!
Hungry Hungry Hippos!
Hungry Hungry Hippos! First to gobble up the most marbles wins!
We're Hungry Hungry Hippos! We're in an eating race! Hungry Hungry Hippos!
Whatever it is I do, I try to think about you. I have a love for you, but nothing hides me. Whatever it is I do, I'm always thinking of you. I hope you look at me, be patient eyes.
I'm really glad to have this opportunity to really, share with the world what an amazing person and artist he was. So that's really what we're doing today, and it's great.
He really was the best. And he was a horrible person as far as like with practical jokes. he would do the most horrible, shittiest things to me on the road, but it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one day we were in I'm glad that social media wasn't around back then, because oh my God. one day we used to go to buy records at the Roosevelt, like this hotel in New York.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've seen those documentaries, how those guys, they all hated us because I'm not going to name names because I don't want people to try to approach me and embarrass themselves. But established artists, basically what you do is you go in there and Prince B taught me this, you listen, the way you buy records, you listen and you read the back of the record player, and you see who is playing what instrument. So you see Benny Goodman, people like this. Okay, this is a good record. And then, so the other rappers, when the guy would say, "Hey, I want $300 for this record," oh, come on, man, come on, let me get it for $90. So here comes PM Dawn in the place, and we weren't buying cars and other stupid stuff with our money. We were reinvesting. So how much is the record? Here's 300. So now it comes out, okay, just hold all the dope shit for when PM Dawn comes. Don't even put it out yet, because we're going to give them what they want. And then when they started complaining about it, they stopped going to the hotels, and we would drive out to Riverhead, Long Island, just go to their houses, and they just make us something to eat. And then we'd listen to records in their house, buy what we want, and leave. So now they don't have to deal with the rappers that want to haggle them and bring them down for bullshit money.
Mm.
So it was like, and then he taught me that. He was like, "Greg, people aren't given much in this world. The least we can do is pay them what they're worth, what they want." So if that made us assholes, then fine. I guess we were assholes.
No, it sounds like a pretty fun memory to have.
But back to this. So this is one of the more horrible stories. One day, we used to have fans that we trust, like they would become friends. And so if they knew we were coming to a town, I give them the information. They check us into the hotel, set the air conditioning for us and everything in the rooms, make sure everything's nice. And then when we come into town, like they pick Prince B up from the airport for me, and then I drive in and everything will be okay. So one time, and I'm not going to say the name of the person, but so I guess he tells Prince B, man, I have to use the bathroom really bad. I ate something, didn't agree with. And he goes, okay, but on one condition. Use the bathroom in Greg's room, turn off the air conditioning, and don't flush. And leave the toilet open. And I go, and he goes, what? He goes, you do it. He said that it just be around. I want to see the look on, you get the look on his face, whatever. I walked into that room and that aroma said, I was like, what? And I said, Chris, what the hell is going on? Yeah, I said his name. He said, I'm sorry. B told me to do it. B told me. It's choking me up thinking about that. but that's what it was like going to Clearwater in Florida, man. Just horrible practical jokes. Then I remember another time I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I have a knock on my door, and it's a young lady, and she's like, "Hello, Doc. I just want to know if I could chill with you tonight and everything." And I'm like, "Who are you?" And then I really look at her, and it's not a girl. She's just dressed up like a girl, and he would always try to do stuff to me, like he's. And then I go knock on his door, and I go, "What the hell is wrong with you?" He's like, "You almost did it, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Look, just leave me alone, man, and let me go to sleep." And he was always playing some type of crazy joke on me.
I like his sense of humor, though.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I never got him back either.
No,
I never got him back. Because with him, let's just say I got him back, he would take it to another more horrific level. So it's one of those things I accepted for life that I would have to tolerate.
That's right. Don't need to escalate it.
No, don't need to escalate it.
Now, you've done so much to help, keep the PM Dawn name alive. What goals lie ahead for you? And are you still facing criticism over continuing the band with that name?
Here's what I've learned, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've learned. I'm 51 now. And basically what I've learned is, well, I talked to my good friend Money B from Digital Underground after all of the stuff happened. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, Greg, I'm a West Coast OG. I've been in this game mad years. I saw you come up. I saw you carrying everybody's bags. I watched you work your way back into the group and everything. So why the fuck would you care about what a stranger says or thinks about you? And he told me, he said, really think about this. Mm. They're strangers, Gregory. They're strangers. And I'm like, but they're calling me all of these names. He said, but it's not true. So why do you give a flying fuck about it? Mm-hmm. And that's what really, so now when somebody says something, I just block, delete the comment, and I just leave it alone. Yeah. And I don't listen because it got so bad. Like people telling you to kill yourself, people telling you they're going to kill your children. Like the internet can be really filthy and disgusting when it wants to be. And, at the end of the day, over a lie. And, so for me, it's like, I want the legacy of PM Dawn to be, we made dope records until the day we died. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like, my mentality is the show must go on, okay? When I was a little boy, Thurman Munson died in a plane crash. He was the Yankees captain.
Mm.
Did the Yankees stop being the New York Yankees because Thurman Munson died? Or was it next man up, let's go dominate and win the World Series? You know, when Kobe died, did the Lakers stop being the Lakers or did LeBron win the chip? I'm like, I'm just trying to win the chip. It would be nice to win a Grammy. He wanted to win a Grammy. I feel like if he was alive and he was healthy, we could have done that, you know, but that's not the be all end all for me so much. All I ever wanted out of this, and this sounds stupid, but all I ever really wanted out of hip hop, which I got, I just love being harassed at Red Lobster. I know Red Lobster's closed now, but that's what it was for me. I just love that, you know. I don't care about the money. I just like to pull out the Sharpie, and now the iPhone replaced the Sharpie, right? Because now they just want to, hey, look who I'm with. Look who I'm with, Ma. Look what I'm with. No, it's not Isaac Hayes, Ma. No, it's not Rick Ross's dad, Ma. It's Doc G. Oh, when I'm letting this grow out because I'm washed out my color to get my gray in.
Mm-hmm.
I like my gray. Let me be clear. I love my gray. My mother despises my gray beard, and she made me color it because she had to have surgery about like a year or two ago. And I remember it was like this, and my mother pulls me next to her against a mirror, and she snuggles up to me and goes, they're going to think we're a couple. I said, no, they're not. You're out of your mind. Ain't nobody going to think I'm your husband. I said, you're 72 years old. Ain't nobody going to think I'm your damn husband, Mom. So take her to the hospital, going to get surgery, and her doctor goes, would somebody like to plant the luscious on Miss Weir? I'm like, and she starts laughing, goes, I told you. I said, it's my mom. It's my mom, okay? I'm not her husband. I'm a son, all right? And it was this big thing, everybody laughing. And I said, you told him to? She said, I swear I didn't, Gregory. I told you, you need to dye your beard. Now, the whole real reason that my mother wanted me to dye my beard is because she said that she feels sexy and beautiful when she looks in the mirror at 72. And then she looks at a picture of me and goes, wow, my oldest son has a white beard. Now I'm old. And so I have to dye my beard black so my mother doesn't have to feel old, which is
These
ridiculous.
Are the things we do for our parents.
Yeah,
to keep them feeling young.
it's ridiculous. So and then one time I did a video call with my dad, and he goes, "Wow, son, your beard is whiter than mine." And I said, "You know what? I'm done." So I just jumped in, just from an auto stop, took a shower. Voila, everybody happy now. So. It'll probably be black again by tomorrow morning because I watch this back and go, oh, wow, it is getting white again. But I like it. Listen, I'm very happy and content being the old guy. Most of the people that I deal with, the younger black guys, they call me school down here in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that old school, it's too old school to say old school. Now they go, hey, school, man, what's up with your school? Oh. What you doing tonight, school? You going to the bar, school? It's pretty funny. So, yeah. And but I like it. It's like it's the season for it. There's nothing wrong with growing old and still doing what you love.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now when I write my next slow jam, it'll be like how can I make that woman understand? I got to wake up in the morning with her eating Raisin Bran. It's going to be something. It's going to be something related to being old. But no.
We can't fight it. We got to embrace it.
I'm being goofy, but no. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with growing old. I'm like, I can't do the Kid and Play kickstep anymore. I could fall and it'll be hilarious and it'll get a lot of hits on TikTok, but I'm not trying that shit.
Last time I tried to do a dance like that, I threw out my hip. Had to go to the chiropractor.
Listen, I don't dance the way I used to dance. What I'm good at now, I go in the club and I go.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally I'll go like this, throw the little peace sign up, something like that. But I'm
Off in
not
your
doing
head.
it. Yeah. I am working on a new PM Dawn project. It
Excellent.
is not tentatively titled yet. And I also have a solo project out, a few of them, but the main one is called Never See This Day. I don't know if you got a chance to hear the record, but Never See This Day talks about losing Prince B. And like I had wrote, ever since I was a kid, I was taught at the Roy Wilkins Center by a lovely woman named Audrey Taylor, a Black woman. And she taught me to turn my rage into my passion, and she taught me the power of words. And, so whenever I go through something traumatic, I write. Even if I don't turn it into a song, I write. And it's like you write and you get once you put it on the pad or, the smartphone replaced the composition notebook. But once you put those words out there and it's out of your system, you could leave that pain and get it out of your body, out of your heart. Mm-hmm. So it's just a way for me to cope with the pain of not having them. But I think I always have them because I talk to them a lot. Anytime I go to try, I'm trying to laugh at movies that we used to see together, like Step Brothers, Team America, Pulp Fiction. I mean, anything to laugh. That was our thing. And so I'm learning to love that aspect of life again. Mm-hmm. And I hope that people could look up Never See This Day and, maybe it helps them cope with loss the way it helped me.
Dog Diggy. You were more than my big cousin, more than the best friend to me. I wouldn't wish this type of pain on my enemy. One word describes how I miss you immensely. Until we meet again, holds what I pretend to be. Prince B forever. Nobody was more clever. The bond we share as cousin to cousin could never be severed. Come on. Time and time again, I play the memories over inside my mind. Your condition was fatal and I refused to pay the end of the line. Hard to make moves without you, I thought you'd always be by my side. Now you're gone, my heart is broken, and I feel dead while I'm alive. Lord, I pray to never see this day. For I believe he'd heal and bounce back some way. Lord, I pray that I would never see this day. When this disease would take my cousin away.
What would be the older song that you would pick that I should put in the episode?
The only reason I'm suggesting this is because Al B. Sure put it up, and I love Al B. Sure, man. Shout out to Al B. Sure. Sometimes I miss you so much, because it's a song that I love to perform live too. Mm-hmm. It was one of those. I used to always come up with these little intros, right? So what B did is he would play the beginning of Night and Day, and then I would go, "It's the bliss, baby. It's the bliss. It's the bliss, baby. It's the bliss. It's the bliss, baby. It's the bliss. It's Prince B and Dr. G. We pack hits like this, so it's the bliss, baby. It's the bliss. It's the bliss, baby. It's the bliss. It's the bliss, baby. It's the bliss." And it goes a little something like this. And we go, "Sometimes I miss you." Man, it's really cool. I love stuff like that. That's why I love music, hip hop music, but music in general.
That was catchy. I like it. Yeah. So thank you again so much for your time today. I hope you had fun and got to express how you feel about things. Thank you.
I did have fun, and thanks for not, ripping me for oversleeping. I was just,
don't worry.
Man, I get to writing and talking to other people, collaborating over the phone. The next thing you know, it's daylight. You go back to sleep, and it's like, oh my God. So
hey, I've done it. I get it. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. Are you okay with all the content with the show? If everything, we can put everything in there.
I'm cool. I'm cool with everything. I'm cool with everything.
I'll bleep out the Chris name if you want.
No, keep it in there.
Okay.
Keep it in there.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be out probably, I'm really ahead of schedule, so it's probably going to be a month and a half. And then we'll put it out.
Okay, that's cool.
And if you want me to send you any of like the video and stuff for your own use, I can always send it through a Google Doc and throw it over to you on my Google.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a Google Drive, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Sure. Yeah, if you want it on the Google Drive, let me know. And I'll send you the link of the video. And yeah, I'll edit up all the audio for about a month and a half away for the release. Sound good?
Thank you very much, Naomi.
Thank you, Doc. It was nice to talk to you.
Yep. And look, maintain the bliss always.
Will do.
Social media, yeah, we've got it. Send us an email, dopenostalgiapodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, Nostalgia Dope. Or on Insta, dope_nostalgia.
This podcast is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work. Hi, if you enjoyed Dope Nostalgia, thank you. Consider becoming a Patreon subscriber today for as little as $1 a month. It helps keep the show on the air and rolling. So if you want to check out our Patreon, it's at patreon.com/dope nostalgia. $1 a month, and you'll be helping support one of your favorite podcasts.